Cannabis vibe up in here. Fuck yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to welcome back. Welcome to the late night smoke. I'm welcoming myself back to the late night smoke. Put my kiddo to bed, and I passed out right up until the minute I needed a nap, son. I've been busy. I recorded two Dude Grows shows, three Jug Dealers is. I edited the live DGC smoke break from the DGC Cup, and I am getting started tonight and tomorrow on the 5 strains of the DGC Cup. If you guys didn't notice, one of the weirdest things that's ever happened in the history of my YouTubing career happened with the DGC Cup last year. We High C, he's a video guy, but he's not like a hardcore video guy. He dad. So he put together a little DGC Cup video with some of his footage that he accidentally loaded up in 240p. Even AOL is laughing at 240p. 240p. And so the video gets age restricted because it's about weed. It shows bud, the whole YouTube thing. And then one day, just with no reason or rhyme, all of a sudden YouTube unrestricts the DGC Cup video. Just one day it gets unrestricted, and it goes from like 10,000 to like 20,000 to like 50,000. We're like, holy shit! Like this video's got 50,000 views. That's crazy. And everyone in the comments is hating on it. What the fuck? 240p? Would you film this on a potato? It's like, yeah, we filmed it on a goddamn potato. I don't know what to tell you. As it stands right now, that video has 560,000 views. Easily the biggest thing Dude Grows has ever produced. Easily the least effort that's ever been put into anything, maybe other than the old ones. So yeah, you never know. We figure, if it got almost 600,000 views last year, let's put a little bit of effort in. So yeah, Fly High asked about the top 10. Funnily enough, that's what we did last year. We did the top 10, but High C is more involved now with Dude Grows. After the cup, he will be hanging out and doing more. There's cannabis vibe. Always positive vibes up in here. So yeah, IC is a little bit more involved. So you're going to be noticing, like, I don't write the titles and thumbnails. So those of you that think they're a little too clickbaity or whatever, that ain't me. That's coming from up top. So don't gripe at me if you want it fixed. I can't fix it, and nor does it need fixed. They're titled, right? They go out as long as what's in there is good, and you guys know it's always good. So I am taking the cut video a little bit seriously this year. So I'm gonna try to edit it up. We got several different angles, me, High C, and Little Reel all combined to get some stuff, and it was pretty badass. So we're only gonna do top 5, but I'll put together a top 10 video for the DGC producers, all the cats over there on Patreon, and all the YouTube channel members. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just go rogue and start putting shit out. That's one of the cool things. Scott and High C are always very calculated with what they want put out, but the dude, he's just like, Grambo, put it out. So I'm gonna take that as the dude's marching orders, and yeah, I think we'll put out something like that. Good on you, Fly High. Good for putting pressure on me. So this was a crazy week. Yeah, doing a lot of editing. And so when Grambo does a lot of editing, what happens? Well, I take a lot of edibles. These are one of my favorite edibles. This is Wild, WYLD, Wild Gummies. I'm a med patient, so these are 1,000 milligrams per container, 50 milligrams per piece. So I've been doing a lot of edibles this week. And I didn't have to purchase all of my edibles because I was gifted quite a bit. So there's 50 gone down. There's 100 down the little gullet. I just like to get going. So I got some Gary Payton live resin here from drug dealer Gabe. Man, Gabe can grow. Jaron is like, now Jaron can grow as well. Here's a story about, I don't know if you guys paid attention to all of my stories at the cup, but I was getting hit the set joints left and right. I'm hitting this joint, I'm hitting this joint. They're tasting good. This is tasting good. That's tasting good. But then I taste something that like screams, I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's Jaron's weed. It's some of his. I don't know if it was the pure Michigan or if it was the magic mushroom that he grows, but ooh, doggy. So Jaron is fucking legit. And so when I say that Gabe can hang up there with fucking anybody, I ain't lying, man. Gabe got this. It's very crazy. We always say check your weed privilege, you know. So like we know the guy that kind of invented live resin, Kind Bill, and so Gabe grew a bunch of this really awesome Gary Payton bud, and Kind Bill blasted it into some awesome stuff. Yo, what up, Enhanced? Oh, Enchanted. See, I am see, there's the dyslexia popping up. Everybody I work with knows don't trust Grambo with the words. Like I read that and it said enhanced the first time I read it, and then I looked like, oh, that doesn't say enhanced. So everyone's been asking about the how the Dr. Dabber's been treating me good, cup approved. I was lining up dabs like a bud tender out there at the cup. I had one, I had my little bubble top here for me, and I had a secondary top that I was giving for all the guests, anyone that wanted to take a dab. I had a unit, so you know, once that bee goes green, light is green, trap is clean. Woo! So you got 100 milligrams, got a couple dozen dabs in me, so I'm feeling good. I will click over. If Cortez, if you're watching, I am sending out that link over to you right now, buddy. Today, as I alluded to, I didn't have to eat all of my own edibles this week because I was gifted a bunch of edibles from our friend, your friend, everyone's friend out there in Chi Town, the Autoflower King of Chicago, Cortez the Conqueror. I mean, remember I said last year this motherfucker dosed me and I wasn't gonna fall for it. He literally was like pushing edibles, take it. They're like, I can't. It was too much, man. I made a commitment that I was going to shake every hand and talk to every single person that wanted to talk to me. And I failed at that every single person, but I talked to almost all of them. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was so high on edibles. You get shy on edibles. It's like, it's weird. You wouldn't, you know, I was out on a date. I meet this girl. We got on a date, and I'm just talking about comedy and how like, oh, it's so competitive, and some of the other comedians they got skills that I don't have, and blah blah blah. And you know, I was just like shooting shit. I was like, well, you know, other comedians they're kind of like outgoing. I was like, I'm a big introvert, and she like looks at me and just goes, "What?" And I realized just by it's like being a little kid eating dog poo on the playground, and someone just gives you the look like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing?" You go, "Oh, probably shouldn't be doing this." Literally, I was like, "Yeah, I'm kinda introverted." She's like, "What?" I could tell by the look at her face, like, "Oh, I don't have a very accurate self view of myself. I'm pretty outgoing." So, yeah, I made myself forcefully go out and be as social as I could be, and, if anybody out there didn't get to, hang out and shoot the shit, then, next year. I put the express saying out they come bother me, you know, with the other guys, Jaron, Gabe, Brett, Scott, Banner, any of the guys. I can't speak for them. They're busy. They're doing other stuff. They're got all sorts of dogs in the fire everywhere. I don't know. But as far as I go, man, I'm just about the people. I'm a stand-up comedian. I literally like to I like to look in people's eyes and just like and do the thing, you know, do the thing we did before COVID and bring back all that shooting the shit and smoking and joking and hugging and you know, just you know, shaking hands. I love a good handshake. Someone asked, who was it? Was it let's see, god damn, you guys are good at the chat. Someone asked if if anyone showed up at the DGC Cup and claimed on I was saying that I would give you a hand job essentially if I was joking. I was doing this. I was like, if you come to the cup, I will shake your hand, sort of thing. And yeah, someone showed up. My boy wearing full Grambo grows. It was it was a surreal moment for me. You know, I see that the shirts go out. Like I get little notifications like, oh, this person, and it doesn't say like, you know, what the hell? Huh. I just went to log into Instagram and it was like, your account's been suspended for suspicious behavior. But then I clicked on it and it wasn't. But in the cannabis world, you guys know, we never know as far as the bannings over there on Instagram. You never know. Ah, looks like I'm all good. So yeah, I'm standing over, in the ticketing area, and what do I see? Blam. Lloyd. What up, man? It was so cool. I legit like I was beaming. That's a real suspended for hand jobs, Boogie. You got to damn it. Only fans. Yeah, it was literally so cool. It was so freaking awesome to oh what? Oh, he's there. What up? Yeah, I didn't mean to use your Christian name, Lloyd. I never got the hand. Well, here's the thing. Lloyd showed up with his very nice lady friend, and she was as awesome as he was. And the last thing I want to do is pull her man's pants down and gotta show her the way. I don't want to make her jealous out there. Like, oh, who's this handsome bald man with a perfect beard stroking down my man? All good. Thank you, Lloyd. You're the man. Seriously, it wasn't just that picture there, and any sort of lip service, let alone hand service. I really epically appreciate it. Epically, epically, epically. As well as Lloyd, I got a picture from Macho Grams. You guys all see Macho Grams out there, and he was decked out in full Grambo gear out there. He had a grow hat, and he had the Grambo grow shirt. Man, this shirt is it's a good way to meet girls. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I've been out twice, and I've had a pretty girl at a gas station, a pretty girl at a dispensary. In fact, the girl that showed me these very edibles uh, compliment me on the shirt. And when a girl compliments you on the shirt, she wants to become your wife. All right, all right, guys. Am I right, guys? Yeah. No, no. But people have been very complimentary over it. It's a pretty shirt. I worked on it for a long, long time. It's cool. I wanted to make sure my number one criteria for when I made any of my merch is that if you don't know who I am, would you still think the shirt's cool? Because this is my measuring stick. I always will ask people out in the world, what the hell? What's happening here? Anything's better than a lot lizard. Well, not anything, but most things are better than a lot lizard. Yeah, totally distracted me. What the hell was I just about to say? I have no freaking clue. Yeah, I sent off the email over there to Cortez the Conqueror, so he will be popping in shortly. I always got to make sure that I actually get them sent. Sometimes I have weird connection issues down here. As I've said before, Scotty records out there in the bakery, and out here, Grambo records in the Boner Lodge. He hasn't gotten it yet. Oi. It's always something. All right, I'll send it from a different one. It's tough. It's tough out there. I'm telling you. Two core. There we go. It's got you saved, buddy. All right, I'm sending it from a different email. I'll send it from my Grambo Edits account. So, yeah, what was I something about dating or something. Anyway, yes, the Grambo Grows gear has been amazing. Lloyd, thank you so much. Macho Grams out there sporting it. I wanted to make sure if you didn't know who it was, it was still wearable. It's at GRAMBO.shop if you guys are interested in buying any of those. But number one, if I could ask you guys, yeah, emails is suspended too. Son of a bitch! God damn it, Zucks, get off my case. Yeah, but the number one way I ask if you guys don't already follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I was out and I was talking to this girl at a bar when I was out on the road last year, and she was a social media manager, and she's like giving me all sorts of, oh, you're a comedian, oh, that's cool, let me follow you, and she followers than you. I was like, ah, damn it. Women got followers, man. So I'm almost at 2,000. It would be really cool if I was able to get up to 2,000 just because of the support of the BGC and the Gram fam and all the juggernauts out there. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, it's free. I post goofy stuff, a lot of motivational stuff. I'm into, I had to pick myself up. If you guys don't know my story, I was just a black market grower. I was hanging out in that world and just doing that. I got married and I had a kid. I was doing stand-up comedy, and then COVID happened, and we all get locked into the freaking house. Stand up goes away. All my random stuff going on. ends up taking comedy away. And then me and my wife are just locked down with a brand new newborn baby. And our relationship didn't survive out of COVID. And so we end up getting divorced. And I have to start over. I just gave her everything. I showed up without a lawyer. I walked in. I was like, look, my balls are in your hands. You can fuck me. All I care about is my kid. I was like, as long as we can work together on the kid, you can keep everything. I don't care about nothing. And so we end up working everything out really great. But I started over from zero, absolute standing zero. I was devastated. I lost and my whole family had died. My mom died of breast cancer in 2020 or 2019. It was the week before my kid was born. My kid and my mom were in the same hospital at the same time. My kid was born right as she was passing away. And I started over from zero. My family was gone. I was in a new state. I was born in Iowa. I'd only been here, 5 or 6 years. It wasn't too late for everything to crash and burn. And I literally started with nothing. And I made a decision one day that I was just going to keep going. I was just going to, I was like, I could go get a job at Burger King. And I was like, no, I'd rather just be broke. I got on food stamps for like a year and I survived through it. And I just grinded out and I stayed positive. I did the road. I was out doing comedy. I'm making people laugh. I'm dying inside and I'm out there making people laugh. And the hottest girl I've ever met in my whole life said I was hot and came to my hotel room. And right then I was like, you know what? I think being single, I think I'm gonna survive. And as soon as you get laid, money, who gives a shit about that? So I just kept grinding out my work, editing. I worked for free for probably 3.5, 4 years and didn't make a dime. And then I got my first big break freelancing on Upwork.com, recommended to me by comedian David Gamble, who was on Kill Tony this week. My buddy David Gamble was on Kill Tony. So if you guys go back and watch that episode, or if you saw the most recent episode, check out David Gamble. That's one of my closest friends in comedy. Freaking love that guy. He turned me on to Upwork, and I started making music videos and all sorts of weird stuff. And so I made the video for the band called Thor, an 80s heavy metal band called Thor, the Ultimate Alliance. And that was my first big break. And that got me launched out, into a whole bunch of people, met a whole bunch of stuff. And just one gig at a time, clawed my way up, refused to change. I knew if I just committed to the path I was on, I would probably try to not win, but there's no such thing as win. You keep going. Have I won yet? I feel, maybe I've won yet. I feel like there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So someone commented, I think Grambo's edibles are kicking in. I think you're right. So yeah. So like I said, the this week I brought the guy that awesome guy. Got to meet Mrs. Cortez this trip. She's a trooper. She's dealing with all these meatheads, like we're all a bunch of stoner meatheads running around like crazy people. And here's this poor nice woman just like, ugh, God, everybody's girlfriend. God, all the DGC girlfriends. God bless you. You're dealing with all us knuckleheads. So give it up for my friend and yours. Cortez the Conqueror. What's up, buddy? You
Hey,
edible.
what's going on? Yeah, somehow you went to my spam box, but I was like, maybe I better check, and I found 2 invites.
Cannabis content, man. We just get
But
taken
I
down.
reported you as not spam, my friend. there was actually the option, report this is not, no, this is not spam. This should have gone to my
I
primary.
know that's such a bummer, man. I don't know what the any of the cannabis sort of stuff. We all like I logged into Instagram. It said I was like suspended or something. That's why everybody knows you like that was
Or,
actually why the Grambo Grows Instagram became a thing. It was like, oh, I don't want to lose my main one.
dude, the other day, I had like the feeling of sheer panic because I don't even really want to say this out loud, but I'm still on my first Instagram account, so I haven't done like that whole reboot step yet. But I woke up the other
Yeah.
day and somehow on my phone I was logged out. So I felt like what was it, Goodfellas, when they were like walking Joe Pesci into the meeting, but everybody kind of like knew what was going on. I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, did it
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, you got to have that's why anybody that doesn't understand when you see on Instagram, you'll see like loving in her eyes 2.0, 3.0. Well, that is El Canisur, you son of a bitch. I went to the Spambo folder, Cortez.
Spambo. I swear to God, the internet's undefeated.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, I mean, there's a handful of dude, like it's one of the things Rogan will always say. Like, as a stand-up comedian, like like comedians get credit for being so funny, but what you realize is the funniest people on earth ain't comedians, dude. They're construction workers, they're
Yeah.
lawyers, they're fucking bartenders, they're bouncers.
Come
People are
anywhere over here to the
hilarious.
south side of Chicago. And I mean, I don't know, I grew up different from most people, but like especially when I was really young, I grew up like poor. Like there was no, we didn't have cable, we had each other. So like just part of that was just like creatively making fun of each other. And you had to be like the one to kind of be like cool in the neighborhood that was like quick with it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's the. I always tell people if you get so good at making fun of yourself that one day you just turn pro.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey,
Hell yeah,
I
man.
decided to roll up this last white owl I got here. Shout out Jay Maestro.
All right. Yeah, man. So wooden bell, what do we got there? Grandma, do I got any stand up on YouTube? So I have a little stand up on YouTube. The problem is audio. So like the clips I do have on YouTube is from the Denver Comedy Works, like the professional AAA club that we have here. So they take like really good audio, but you only get a
Oh
few
yeah, yeah.
minutes. So and it's
I actually
very old,
just
it's pre-COVID.
went. What was it? Friday. I just caught a comedy show here in the city.
I
Kind of
saw you
local
jumped
guy,
off
but I guess
some.
he's been on like
Oh
BT
yeah, yeah,
Plus. He's done a
legit.
couple other things.
I've
Ruben
never met him,
Ramirez.
but
Have
yeah.
you ever heard of him?
I haven't proper met him, but yeah, I'm aware of him. I saw your Instagram post, and
Yeah, I got him repping the brand. Hit him with a little House of Cortez gift bag. You know what I'm saying? So.
oh, I do. I received one of those.
Yeah, I had plenty left
So
over from the cup. So I was like, hey, I got like
yeah, that was one.
suggested as real. I saw he was going to be like 20 minutes from here. I kind of like went out on a whim. I was like, hey, let me hit this guy up, see what's going on. I was like, maybe he'll respond, maybe he won't. 5 minutes later, yes, come through.
Awesome, dude. Hell yeah. So what'd you give him some gummies, some hot sauce? What'd you?
Gave him some of the gummies. He got 2 of the Cortez juices, a little flour, gave him a pre-roll.
Hell yeah. So when I want to get into both angles, but so no matter which one
Okay.
you started with, I want to pick your brain on it. So when you started, like for example, you gave me those the peach rings, right? I believe they're
Yeah,
peach
yeah.
anyway. They could have been apple,
They're
could have been peach.
At this point, they're kind of more like a peach coconut in flavor, but yeah, that
Mm.
they are peach rings.
So how do you start with that? Is that you just like tincture soak? Like are you purchasing tincture? Are you making tincture? Like
No,
what's your
everything's in house.
all
Well,
right, my man.
I guess we'll probably get started off with equipment. What I use personally, and I have no connection with them, so this is like literally my unbiased opinion. But I use the magical butter machine, and it's so easy. So that's basically going to be for whatever type of extract, because that's actually 2 different things. Like, well, it starts off with flour. So you're going to take your flour, you're going to go and do your decarb. Um, you can buy the silicone box. You can kind of do like the MacGyver thing. You can kind of use like a little like bunt pan and cover it with tin foil. I have a thermometer that's like the probe, so it's got the cord that so you can like monitor it while it's in the oven, almost something you do use like for a turkey. So for the decarb process from your flour, you want to let your into like not just to put it in, but you actually want to get your container up to 250 degrees. And
Yes.
once the container hits 250, I let that go for 30 minutes. But you got to monitor it, especially if you got like an analog oven. It's a lot nicer if you have a digital oven. Those are a lot more uniform, because once you get
All
up
right.
to 250, you don't want to let the temperature swing 10 degrees higher or 10 degrees lower. 250 is
Mm.
really the sweet spot, but you don't want to go colder than 240 and you don't want to go hotter than 260. So you got to kind of stay by the oven for the 30 minutes because it's kind of
And just to
advanced.
clarify, just so everyone knows there, what does Cortez mean right there? Decarboxylation. You can't just eat raw weed. People back in the day, people used to make brownies. They just throw chunks of bud down into like some batter and half bake it for a little bit. You get a little bit of buzz, but decarboxylation, you knock that A off of that THCA, all the THC becomes absorbable into the gut. And so, yeah, you got to decarboxylate it. So Cortez is talking about decarbing your bud before. Do you do like parchment paper? Do you do like, what do you like to put it in? Do you have a container?
So I moved back in November. I actually did. I bought the actual decar box, whether it's here or whether it's in the storage unit. I got to find it. But yeah, I paid like the $50, $60, whatever it was for that. But for right now, I'm literally using like a bundt cake, like almost like something you'd slice like loaf bread, whatever you call it. Anyways, it's like a smaller rectangle. And then I put the bud in there, try to like put it in an even layer, and then you can just put tinfoil over it. I mean, you could use really anything. You could use like the throwaway pans that you would take to like a barbecue if you made up some like ribs or like, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
So
something you don't got to put that much thought in. I would say put more thought into your temperatures while you're doing it. That's what counts.
That's I've been interviewing and talking with a lot of people over the last little bit, and it seems from growing, extracting, and now cooking, temperatures is one of the most important things to get those volatile organic compounds that we're all seeking.
Yeah, because if you go too hot, it's like
Scotty,
it's like a little taste oak. It's like a little taste of
we all have to salutate the bakery boss whenever Scotty Real walks in. I should have some music that plays. Hell yeah, the bakery boss himself.
We got Scotty's clip dropping soon too with those chicken wings. The sriracha honey mangoes. See, that's the other thing too. Like everybody kind of gets caught up in like this like sour candy, sugar kind of crap. People really sleep on edible proteins. You see what I'm saying? So it's like something to where you're not just like stuffing your face with candy that's going to rot your teeth out of your mouth. It's kind of like the next level of edible because it's kind of like something to where you could prepare a full meal and have the cannabis component inside of just good food.
Yeah, I was doing low sugar last year and I was having a hard time with the edibles. I'm banging out my whole Are we running low on connection here today?
I was looking. I was good. That was you.
I believe it was me.
Yeah, because I'm watching. See you guys, and shout out to the chat. So that was actually kind of something that I did with the wings as well for the stuff that I was giving out at the Cup. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I paired the infused cocktail to the wing sauce. Did you catch that one?
Well, I'm a Philistine as far as the palate is concerned. I have the palate of a child, but yes, no, I very, very much noticed. What up, DGC? It's awesome to see Scotty in here. I never get to hang out with the dude. We always hang out Monday, Friday this year. It's been every day's running together for me, Cortez. So I want to start at the beginning. When you start running yourself, like when you run that magical butter machine, are you doing trim or are you doing bud? Like does it matter as far as like that sort of stuff? I wouldn't think it would matter too much, would
it doesn't matter too much, but like I usually try to go for larf. So I'm not doing trim. I'm going for like the bottom, more undeveloped stuff. But then for whatever I'm doing, I'll do a combination. So like I will, if I got to use 14 grams, 20 grams, depending on the size, depending on the application, whether I'm doing coconut oil, tincture, olive oil. I mean, that stuff's kind of endless. There's probably at least 8 different options there. But the thing about it is I will sacrifice some prime bud. So if let's say what I'm doing calls for 14 grams. I might do 5 grams of prime bud, and then I'll have the other, what's the math? 9? 5 and 9? Yeah, that's 14. So then I'll do the other 9 grams of like larf. But that's usually what I shoot for to do my stuff, is like the lower stuff that's kind of like airy that you don't want to trim. You know, when you're doing like your harvest, the stuff you kind of slide off the stem like that because it's like not even worth trimming. Am I the only one that does it?
Oh yeah, you just grab it and
Yeah. Hash pile.
yeah, exactly. So then it goes in the butter machine, and so for example, to use the peach rings as the directionality of the method, what did you use butter? Did you use oil? Did you use
So for those rings, I actually did them twice. That's why those things are so strong. They have
they
two
them
different.
rangs?
Yeah, they'll get your ears ringing. But no, those got two different. Those got two different types of concentrates. So I actually did. I wanted to bring some edibles. I wasn't trying to put like too much thought into it. So I did buy them store bought, and then I was soaking tincture on them. So the best way to do that, honestly, is to go on Amazon, because you can get, it's like the China knockoff store, you know what I mean? So you can get like 5 pounds of rings for like, you're looking at like $15. I wouldn't pay more than like 22, 23. They might try to sell you on like some blue raspberry for like 34, but the peach are good at, yeah, give me the $18 ones. Let's split the baby.
That's hilarious. You know what I've always wanted to get off of Amazon is the marshmallows from Lucky Charms. They sell just
Just the
marshmallows.
marshmallows.
Oh, I've never pulled the trigger, but I've always been just high. One of these days, I'll get just high enough and I'll click.
Yes, Amazon, send me some diabetes, thanks.
Thank you for setting me straight, Cortez. Don't let me
Talking
forget.
shit as I'm drinking grape soda, so I really don't gotta.
Yeah, you're still a young man, though. Look at you. You look like an Adonis. You look like a young Puff Daddy.
No, dude.
You know, I just found out about. I bring it because I just found out last night. I didn't know that there was a problem with the P Diddy. I watched a thing last night. I was like, oh, so P Diddy's over. All right, I'm learning.
Yeah,
stuff,
they're saying that his list puts Jeffrey Epstein's to shame.
Oh man. So, oh man, yeah. I usually I always wondered because I always take edibles really late. Like after I'll do a little stream, I'll take some edibles, and then I was like, why don't I? I should take edibles like earlier. That way, I'm like high, like faster. And then now that I'm like on 100 milligrams, like, oh, now I remember why I don't jam edibles in my skull immediately and then freaking start going. So if
that
you
was
were
like the
gonna
last time I was on Dude Grows. Like I was like out of it on edibles.
Well, the last time you were on, you were with Colin, and that's a brutal panel to be on. Colin
I
is a
still
fucking
can't
beast.
believe that guy asked me a plant count question on camera. Like, is this man? It was one of those things where it's like, is he an asshole or what? Like,
he was like a lawyer. He's like on the stand. He's like, Your Honor, this testimony needs to be thrown out. Like
it was almost like a Vlad TV interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
might have to sprinkle some water on that guy. See if he's a lawyer.
He's one of those dudes that might not have the best interpersonal social skills, but he's bringing hardcore knowledge, and we need him out there doing what he be doing.
Well,
I hang out with a lot of prickly pears out there in stand-up comedy, and they're usually good people.
Yeah, French fried potatoes. Yeah. But I actually got 2 of his lemon cherry gelato autos going right now. Got 2 different phenotypes out of that. Third one did pop, but that's kind of what I expect out of an autoflower 3-pack. One won't germinate, one will take off, and one will be kind of eh. Autos are
another guy at the cup. I'm running the laser moose from Three's Genetics from JLS Monster. Freaking Jeremy over there.
Three's Genetics. Yeah, I remember he did something with Banner. I think they did like Know Your Breeder or something.
There's an episode that will be coming out eventually. So yeah, check that one out. That one got age restricted immediately. You know, the ones that get age restricted immediately, we just throw those out there.
Dude,
What
I'm
up,
I'm
Team
working on
Tony?
some local content right now for some stuff that I shot Friday. For like a local grow store and a local like brick and mortar genetic shop. It's actually kind of cool. The grow store, Chicago Roots, they're the only place in the city of Chicago that you can go in and buy the full new Millennium line in person. They got the Winter Frost, they got the Ruby, they even got the Silica, which is out on the north side right now. They got some on the south side location, and they got the Playground Green Sensation. And it's a lot more
Yeah.
reasonable, dude, to go into a grow store. Like we were pricing stuff in there while we were filming. I think they charge like 23 or 20 bucks, 23 or
Playground
$26 for
Playground has the
the
best merch in
yeah.
all of cannabis, and you know why that is? Because they
What is
sell
it?
bottles. They work, but goddamn, they got a price tag on them. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've ever looked up Green
it's
Sensation,
worth
but
it. Yeah.
you got to put that shit on a
I
mortgage,
stand
bro.
behind it though. Have you seen you can turn
No, no,
like
no.
weed into
It's
like space
legit.
weed. You could
Yeah.
take like an old school cut of like I don't even know, and all of a sudden give it like that exotic look because all of a sudden your stuff's got like the swollen calyxes. It's got like it's getting more foxy. I know it's kind of crazy. Like if you know how to use some of that stuff, what you can do with the new mill line to like literally dictate your end product. You can use decision as like a natural form of PGR. You can use it to
Decision and Lightning Start are the two that I know the least about. I'm not all that familiar.
really.
I've been I've been thinking about. See, here's the thing.
It's
So my
actually
roommate
kind of
first came.
funny. I found out about the PGR thing from watching old episodes of Adam Dunn where they were interviewing Jaron, but this was like after those guys had sent me out the full line. So I think it was like a 3-part Adam Dunn thing. But you know how like sometimes you got to watch like 6 hours of podcasting to get like 2 or 3 like big gems out of it.
That's how you learn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, you won't always learn stuff. I always will tell people about that with like editing and filmmaking stuff. Like you need to watch lots of stuff because like you might learn something about his workflow
yeah. Oh,
that
I
you
know.
know, like the video might be about trimming, but then you
Yeah.
notice on his shelf, it's like, oh, he's got like for example, I did a video that was it might even have been announcing being on Home Grow the Community. I can't remember what it is, but
Okay.
either way, it's a way to shout out the Home Grow in the Community fam out there. Mr. G, C Bunny. Where's Mama Kush at? She out there.
But yeah, dude, I know this video is getting age restricted. Like even the little spoiler reel I just put out, like it didn't get age restricted as it was processing, but like 5 minutes later. But like I was saying though,
Yeah.
no, so dude, like if you go into a grocery store rather than buy stuff online, like dude, we were pricing stuff like as we were filming, kind of like in between takes for the build a soil like 3.0 light mix, whatever the hell that is, for the 1 cubic or 1.5 cubic foot bag. On Amazon, they're charging like $46 or $49 with free Amazon Prime shipping. But if you go into the grocery store, my place on the north side or the south side, well, at the north side, they got it for like $23, $26. So it's like you're paying $20 for free Amazon Prime shipping. Like, so I got the $20 free shipping. Like it doesn't make sense. But
It's rough
there's
shipping
stuff
water, but
online. There's like a whole aspect of like the grow community, just like getting to talk to people, getting to ask questions, networking with other growers. You know what I mean?
yeah. Hey, shout out to Sicko Grows right there. If you guys notice that my beard is looking sharp, and it is, I got me a beard brush, Sicko. Sicko's a hair guy. He does I don't even know what to call it. Is it a barber, a beautician? I don't know. It's like stewardess versus flight attendant, you know? It's like, when did it change? But he got me
Waitress,
all trimmed up.
waitress.
Yeah. So shout out to Sicko. I feel like I'm looking sharp today. Everything's coming in nice, buddy. Well, hell yeah. So let's say that you
Oh,
weren't making.
what? Oh wait, sorry. Can I do the biggest shout
Go
out
ahead.
real quick though to
Sure.
JR Token
I mean, that's my
and
man, so of course you can.
the whole cannabis community? They just sent
Oh, you
me
got a
out.
you got a jug of Lost Coast. Who
They
gave you
just
the jug?
So JR Token actually just sent me out like a whole birthday present box. That's why above
Nice.
all else, I got to give the biggest shout out to JR because he really
Well,
hooked me up for my birthday. So it's pretty cool.
any single person in the DGC community, you could interrupt any of us to give a shout out to JR Token, and we will all bend at the knee,
JR
a cut off
Token,
knee, bend
whole
at the cut
cannabis
off knee.
community.
We were just joking today. Like he's telling me about his implant that he's getting. I was like, throw GPT up in that thing, motherfucker. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna. He's like, you think I'm lying? He's like, I'm gonna put AI up in my body, son. It's like,
Yeah.
man, when you have
JR is
any,
going to give him hell as long as he's breathing.
oh, dude, I'm telling you, dude, it's real life out here. But he's killing it. He just sent some cuts. His brother PR Stoken sent some cuts to
Oh,
Trip
yeah, yeah.
out there at the out in Fort Collins.
I
So
know
I
them.
don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we
yeah.
got coming in, but we got some peanut
I
butter
saw
jets
them at the
and stuff.
cup.
Yeah, yeah. So if you guys if you guys need cuts, I would hit up JR Token. I believe I hear tell some of the emergency that I am still dabbing on here is
Yeah, if you
and
talk to him,
it
there's
is
like some curly red-haired kid that sends him out, right? Skip.
Skip. It's my kid's got a stuffed animal named Skip. It's like a woodchuck. I'm like, oh, is it Skip? So let's say that you weren't making peach rings. Let's say that you did put some bud in that magical butter machine. Like, what's the method out there? So it's been decarbed. It's in the magical butter machine. So now you have it in a carrier. Do you prefer butter? Do you prefer oils? What do you prefer?
So my go-to really is coconut oil because the coconut oil is a lot more versatile than the butter. But you can do butter, you can do olive oil. That's good if you want to do like salad dressings, or even maybe if you want to make like a pasta sauce or something like that with the olive oil. So here's the thing. So you decarb it, right? That's the first step. We got that out of the way. Then from the decarb, you basically got to choose what it's going to go into, whether it's butter, and you don't want to like get like some vegan crap. Like definitely get like regular butter that's got the fats and everything. Butter, not margarine. You know what I mean? So if you were doing butter, you definitely want to grab just regular sticks of butter, like the stuff your grandma used to use, the cheap stuff.
Yes. What he's talking about is like when you do the extraction, it's like THC can't just be suspended in something or like in just like any old. It has to be, not has to be, but ultimately you want it to be suspended in some sort of fat. You know that's why you always see like these butters and these high. I don't know what the fat content of coconut butter is. I have a jar back here. Cortez
I guess so
says it's
too.
versatile. It is very very versatile and
I can do more
vaginal
with the
taste.
coconut than I
Coconut
can do
oil.
with the butter. But
Tell me
the
about it.
other thing too, if you want to speed up your absorption rate, like the coconut oil that I just used, I chose something that was organic and unrefined. It hadn't been skimmed, so it still had all the fats. The only thing about using the unrefined coconut oil, it tastes just like coconut. It's going to have a really strong coconut taste. So that's just something to keep in mind. But since I used one that was high in MCT, that's the carrier as well, then as I was doing my extraction process, I added, I don't really know, it was kind of like three. I like measured, kind of eyeballed it, whatever. So I couldn't give you an exact
You know,
measurement on
a
that one.
couple sips for the homies. You know, bang
Of
bang.
liquid sunflower lecithin.
All right, sir.
Yeah, it kind of is like cannabis cooking alchemy, but that's a carrier as well. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to help
All right.
with the absorption of the cannabinoids into your bloodstream. Is going to help them to act faster. So you see where some people, you might eat edibles and then it's like 40 minutes later. The stuff that I'm making usually hits you in as little as 15 minutes, but like 15 to 20, 30 minutes at the most, you're definitely feeling it already. And it's actually like a deeper effect because the liquid sunflower lecithin is allowing the cannabinoids to, it's almost like like recharge. You know how with the recharge it attaches to the
Oh,
root, so it's helping for the uptake of nutrients. It's the
yes.
same thing with the sunflower lecithin.
Mm.
Just to
That
give
is
an analogy
that
that
is
we can
how it
all
works.
relate to.
It works the exact opposite. People always will like, if you're going to go out drinking, people are like, oh, have a full stomach, that way the booze will absorb, it'll absorb slowly. Works the exact opposite with cannabis. If you have an empty stomach, you're more likely to not have it hit you all that much because you'll pass a lot of it and you won't
Right.
absorb it. But if you have like a high fat meal, it's just going to absorb in all that food and it's just going to uptake all
Plus,
in your system. So
anything
yeah,
that
having
you
those
take
carriers is important.
anything that you take orally has to be processed through, what is it, your kidneys? So
Liver.
it's going up. I stand
Liver.
corrected. So it's got to go through the liver and be processed, and then it's getting kicked out to the bloodstream. But doing things like I was saying, to get a coconut oil that has a high MCT content in it is definitely going to speed things up and give you more bang for your buck. And then using extra carriers like the liquid sunflower lecithin. But then, so we've gone from decarb, we've gone on to extraction. The magic butter machine is really nice because I'm literally pressing like maybe 2 or 3 buttons after I load the machine, and it's literally doing the rest of the work. And it's got lights on it. It's got a little alarm to go off, so it's like ding, fries are done. It's like you're working at McDonald's.
See, now he's got Scotty's voice in there. I want to be making like infomercials for the magic butter machine. It's like, but wait, there's more. Does it only do butter, Cortez? No, it does oil as well. Coconut
Oh no,
oil.
and there you can make topicals in there. You can make like pain rubs. You can make. I mean, it's kind of endless. It really is
Say
kind of
sex lube.
endless.
Just say sex lube. Just say it. Just say, I know. I can see your eyes. You're thinking it.
So actually, now that I started thinking when she said that, I could make like some
Mm-hmm.
CBD lube.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That way, when you're hammering, fucking, you're fixing it.
Yeah,
You're
I
fixing
mean,
it up
I
while you're
think
beating it down. Make that. There's your new bumper sticker. We're out there fixing
take
it
that,
up while
take
we're
that,
beating it
take that,
down.
take that.
Hey, cannabis
It
vibe.
is.
There's your new. There's a new hip hop song. We got CBD in your pussy. We're fucking building it up while we're beating it down. I got
I
CBD
almost
in
made an
pussy. We're beating it up.
off-color joke, but I'm gonna keep that one to myself just because of what month it is.
Dude, this is where you make
But
the
I
off
mean, it would
color joke.
yeah.
You don't make them on the Dude Grows show. You come over to Grambo Grows, you get it out of your system, and then you go up to the mothership and you're on your best behavior.
Yeah. I mean, there might be
Yeah.
something behind that though. If you had like some lube with the CBD in it, so it would be kind of like a soothing.
I just know that coconut oil is a very vaginal safe. So it's a grapeseed oil is number one that you want to use if you have the option, and coconut oil is right up there too. My ex lady friend, who I think
Grandpa
has a
sounds
new
like he's
man
been to a
friend.
Diddy party or two,
Congratulations.
huh?
No, my ex lady friend who I think has a new man friend, and I'm very happy for her if somehow this clip were to ever find her way spinning back through the annals of the internet. I'm happy for her. That's good that everyone moves on, and yes, relationships are
that,
hard,
that
Cortez. I don't have to tell you that. You're in a relationship.
that was Grandpa's nice way of saying that she's for the streets. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure she's a lovely lady. I'm sure she's a
She is a
lovely
lovely. She's
young
better. She's
woman.
better than me, Cortez. I had to let her go. I had to let her go.
Yeah,
What's he saying over here?
there's always that
I'm
one that got.
happy for her, Scotty. I'm happy for her. It's always, after the cup, I made a big commitment to get healthy again. I just hanging out with everyone and just seeing like, oh man, I went to this business course like 2 weeks ago. I went to the cup last weekend, and I was just like, man, I gotta like make sure like, I'm healthy and can like run around and do all sorts of fun stuff. And so I broke up with my two casual acquaintances. I had the FFWBs as the kids call them, and I broke it off with both of them, and I deleted both Tinder and Hinge, and I'm on the straight and narrow right now. I'm thinking about getting into jujitsu. Shout out to Scotty. He's always talked about like as he was younger, he got into jujitsu and all this sort of stuff. And one of my so me and Church of Cannabis Nate were coming up. And so there's five of us. One was like a soldier, Iraq sort of military dude. One was a just a young hockey kid, and then the other two was me, Nate, and then our buddy Derek. And so me and Nate are, you all know who we are and everything. But my buddy Derek Flagg from the ice rink, the other Zamboni man, is one of the biggest up and coming jujitsu players in the world. Derek
No
Flagg on
kidding.
Instagram, man. Follow this kid. Tell him fucking Grambo said hi. He is a beast. He is so in shape. He is such a brick shit house. And I just look at it, it's like, man, we've all come so far, yet, I've let my health slip. And so not only is he coming up on me in fame, he's going to be famous soon. He's all fit. And so I don't know. I'm thinking about getting into jujitsu and then surprising him and just like fucking like look, let's roll, Derek. And then he'll take it easy on me, and I'll never be able to attack him because tap him because he's a G. But I can at least surprise him once. He's like,
right, but no,
don't
don't even announce it though. Just slap like an arm bar on him real quick and see how he responds. That'd be your only chance, really, if he's that far ahead of you. But if you caught him by surprise a little bit, little Pearl Harbor, little sneak attack.
Legit beast. Everyone, I'm loving life as far as like
aim for the knees. Aim for the knees.
Everyone in my life is coming up, Cortez, and I speak for you as well. You're coming up. Everyone's coming up. Like my old band, Electric Assault, they just dropped their album. I got stickers and stuff over here. Electric Assault. If you guys are into metal, check them out. They just dropped.
Well, I'll admit, like,
album.
I don't know, the YouTube thing is hard, man. Like with the whole Instagram thing, like I'm still on my first account. I created this to compete in the Grow Dots competition. So like everything that's happened with Instagram and like the rise of Cortez has been just genuinely organic. But since Instagram comes so easy to me, YouTube, like I'd put out stuff here or there, but then kind of fall back. And then, I'm working 5-6 days a week at like my job. So YouTube is something that I've been slacking on. Now I got to go back to work tomorrow morning after having an 11-day vacation. And it was definitely one of my goals to just record as much content as possible. So I still got stuff I'm going to be dropping for the next couple weeks. From the DGC Cup. I just recorded this thing locally. I've been talking to some other people about doing podcasting, but I probably have at least 8 to 10 pieces of content that are either already edited or that I've shot already, but I just got to go through the whole editing process. So now it's something that like I'm trying to like kind of stay on top of so I don't run out of the whole clip, you know what I mean? Trying to keep something in the spank bank so I can just kick it out slow, but I still got that spank bank to work off of, you know what I mean?
I went to a gym back in the day, and it was run by this old man who was like, "You're gonna shit under and fucking eat gravel, kid." One of these old characters.
You gotta get him, Brock.
Yeah. And he's like, "Josh, I'm going to tell you something. Hardest exercise in this building, it's opening the front door." I was like, damn, old man, you just blew my mind. And so I've taken that. The hardest exercise in the gym is opening the front door. I've taken that. The hardest part about starting a YouTube empire is pressing the record button. It is harder than you think to click record. Even tonight, man, it was about 1 p.m. and I was like, I ain't streaming tonight. Like, there's just no way. I'm freaking exhausted. Like, I had my kid for the last 2 days. She wakes up at 6 a.m., yo. So I'm up at 6 a.m. And so then it's like right there. Now I'm up at 6, and now she'll be up at 6, and I got to be up to do some stuff at the bakery tomorrow. So like, I'm just like, there's no way that I can
I'm gonna be up at like 4:35. I'm going back to work tomorrow.
I'm with you, man. I appreciate you being here, brother. That's the struggle of this thing we do. And
sleep.
The late night smoke is late because I'm a daddy and baby got to go to bed before I can talk with the people. So what haven't we covered? So we got the oils.
So,
we got
right. So now we've gotten the extraction out of the way. So from the extraction, you can do butter. I wouldn't necessarily. Well, it all depends because from what your ultimate goal is what you're going to do is the extraction. Because from the extraction, then you're going to go into your infusion. So that's when you're going to go into your candy. That's when you're going to go into your sauce. That's when you're going to go into your
yes.
beverage of choice.
I must interrupt you there because the thing that I saw in chat that blew up as we spoke about it was indeed the thing that you are so eloquently marketing out there is these hot wings. Fucking people are interested in this. I could see us doing a cannabis hot ones someday, Cortez, where not only is it hot, but there's weed in it. And so like every hot wing you eat, you got to wait like 20 minutes for the next one to kick in, and then we give you another one. How
We'll
funny
see,
would it be?
like
Instead of
that'd be
hot ones,
awesome.
we'll do it like,
I'd send somebody to the psych ward if they did, because I always make myself pretty strong, But
dude, people do go. I hung with out here in Colorado. We have one of our biggest edibles brands is Medically Correct, aka
okay.
Incredibles. And I met some of my close buddies out there, Kyle Allen, who was at the Cup, and Telly, Ryan Hubble out there from Jug Dealers interviews. And these dudes at Incredibles, they had something called the 52, the Mile High Challenge. Mile High is 5280, and so at Incredibles, there was can you eat 5,280 milligrams of oil syrup, and
You
they would
guys
do
are
it.
animals out there. Jesus Christ.
Call those animals, dude. They're animals.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not. You guys are made of steel. It's crazy. But people ask me about that. How do I eat 3, 4,
Right.
500 milligrams? Just like
But
practice,
see, that's
man.
kind of the cool thing if you go into like a sauce, because especially if you have it as like a dipping option, because like if you are going to go the route to where you want to make like a full meal to where you have like your entree that's medicated, I wouldn't really suggest doing it like trying to like melt butter and hope the butter like sticks to the meat, because most of it you're going to waste it that way. But if you do it like I had with the wings as like a dipping sauce, the other thing is sandwiches, wraps. Wraps are real big. So if you got like a sandwich or a wrap and then you're using that as like the condiment on the sandwich.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely I got to experience, speaking of JR Token, he sent me some of his token butter, and it's this
Oh, that
like
sounds
triple,
great.
it's like triple clarified, like takes
I got
all
some
the
in the
green
fridge.
out.
I got some in the fridge.
And so my roommate Church Nate, fucking Church of Cannabis Nate, whipped up some homemade edibles. He got some freaking badass cookie mix at the grocery store and whipped up these things. And holy crap, like I'm an edibles champ, but I'm most of our gummies out here, there's like 3 tiers in Colorado. Bottom tier is distillate. You get distillate gummies. That's probably most of what you get out there in Illinois, out in the legal markets, probably distillate gummies and stuff.
I
After
wouldn't
that,
even
you
know.
get alcohol extraction. That's what these are. That's the mid tier. So the alcohol extracted, they're better. But for guys like me that don't drink, you get a little bit of that. Man, I can it almost tastes like vodka in the back of my fucking throat. It's kind of weird. And then above that is rosin gummies, which is just that's the king out there. And
The
the
elite of
biggest,
elite.
I'll tell this story. And if Scott is in the chat still listening, this is
I
one of
would
my
take
favorite little
my
stories.
methods over the rosin ones any day, though, to tell you the truth.
Well, the
I
rosin ones,
almost
what's
feel
great
like
about it,
you lose. I don't know.
well, they
It's
modulate
kind of like
on.
flour versus smoking dabs. You know what I mean? Like if you smoke flour, it's like I don't even really know how to quantify it,
Yeah,
but it's almost like the flour has more legs to it, so to speak. Kind
it's
of like
weird. It's
more
just it's not
soul.
done commercially out here. I wonder if there's a reason. When I first moved to Colorado, there was a lot of confections and stuff. I used to get this like caramel, infused caramel, and I get all these different like infused things. But now there's really only just those different extractions. But the biggest company in Colorado for rosin companies is called Dialed In, and they're a DGC invention. They're a company born out
Oh,
of
I've
the
heard of that
DGC
on the show.
year it
Yeah, yeah,
was. Yeah, and so freaking Frosty McNuggets told me that, and I've always respected it. Every single time I see dialed in gummies, I just go, man, they were at the DGC Cup.
You know,
They got
it
the
was actually
confidence.
kind of funny, man. I was posting like before I went out to Colorado, I was actually posting the videos that were like my extraction, my infusion, and everything. And shout out to Hot Rod. I had Hot Rod's head stash hit me up in the DM. He's like, man, why are you using flour? You should have used rosin. I'm like, no, man, trust me. You'll get to try some. I'll be there in about 12 hours. I'm driving right now. But I'm like, dude, you'll see when I get there. Like, trust me, it's flour, but they're nice. You don't taste any weed whatsoever.
There's a Chinese proverb that says, there is no way to greatness. Greatness is the way.
In the words of Confucius, man with hole in pocket feel cocky all day.
How dare you, sir? Hell yeah. So yeah, no, this that's interesting. Rosin versus flour butter. I wonder. That would be an interesting social experiment if one were so inclined. The problem for me is the only way that I can get butter is to make it, get it from JR Token, or that's it. And man, I'm going to look at one of these magical butter machines because it definitely is
I think
it's really
they
stinky.
run about like
If you
$3.25. It's a little bit of an
but it's
investment, but
I'd say that it's worth it if
it's
you
yeah. Because
if you are going
especially
to
think
make
about it like
a lot of
this for
edibles.
like tincture, they give you two options, right? So tincture, I'm doing that 130 degrees. In the machine, you could do a 4-hour version, which is less potent, but it's less, it's more palatable. I always do the 8-hour version. So
Scotty says he's watching
I
car
go for that
jujitsu.
unleaded. I go for that full strength, you know?
I feel like car jujitsu is a metaphor for sex in a car.
But just
Over
imagine
that fucking
if
car
I didn't have the
jujitsu.
machine that I'm pressing 3 buttons on and I let it go for 8 hours, McDonald's ding the fries are done, I'd be standing over a stove for 8 hours. I'd have one of them like candy caramel thermometers. I'd be mixing like that. That's like a full-time shift. Like, no.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the thing about see, and then the problem in Colorado is like, so, you know, there's a dispensary across the street from my house, across the street. Literally, like I can get there. Me and Nate took mushrooms one time, and I was like, dude, we don't have enough weed. Like our harvest isn't done. And I got over there and back with plenty of time before they even started kicking in. And it's right there. And so I go over there and I can get 1,000 milligrams for like $22, right? And then but like you buy a couple times, you go there regularly, you start accruing points. And so I walk in there and I'm like, fucking, I'll take the wild gummies. And she's like, oh, you got $20 in points. And I was like, oh, well, then I'll take 2 of the wild gummies. And so it's
I
like I
mean,
walk out of this joint
call
with
me
for
old
$30
school.
plus tip.
I don't do none of that though. Cause like I don't even do self checkout. I don't do none of that. Like bring my Domino's pizza out to the no. If we get forced to do self checkout, I don't have the patience for it. The missus does that
I
just
have a
so dad
motto.
doesn't get
I
pissed
do
off.
Uber Eats so much. Here's my motto: throw it in the gutter and fuck off. Don't call me. Don't
But
ring
see,
my
like
goddamn thing. Don't knock. Throw it in the gutter and fuck off. I'll fetch it. I'll fetch it. The
like
fuck
when I'm at the
digging out of the trash?
dispensary and they're like, give us your email so we can put you on our newsletter list. I'm like, no, you
I
scanned my
give
ID
them
already.
your
I don't need,
email.
I
I give
don't
them
need
your
the,
email.
I don't
I
need to be
tell them.
tracked
I
any
go, my
further.
name is
The government
Cortez the
already knows that
motherfucking
I'm
Conqueror.
here.
You're already on the list, bro. You have a video on Dude Grows that has 45,000 views, for God's sake. I think
The last time I
they know
looked, it
about
was
you.
30,000.
I don't know. I believe that. So YouTube, and this should be an inspiration to all you creators out there that want to get out there. YouTube, and I've been seeing it. They're making a commitment to pushing smaller channels, and they're also making a commitment to showing older videos. And so right now, Dude Grows' top performing video of this month was a video from last year about descheduling. YouTube's pumping it out, and I'm getting fed videos. I'll get videos in my feed that have like 7 views. It's like, what the hell? It's like 100,000 views, 20,000 views, a million views, 7 views. What the hell? How did they get in there? Because they're showing.
Out of the stuff I've released
showing
so
some stuff.
far, it was actually kind of cool since I was hooking people up with the wings. One of the clips I got coming out is from Hardened Soil, the breeder. I'm sure you know them. They're like local Colorado
Brett?
guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
Brett
Heart and
from
Soil.
Hardened Soil. So I hooked him up with some wings, and then I did some other. I was may or may not have been on like a light dose of MDMA while at the cup, and Dad needed to have a good sit. So at that point, I was
How much your episode of Dude Grows? How much did you say it was at when you last checked?
So, that was the thing. So, or wait, let me finish this just to give some context. So I ran. I was feeling pretty good, but needed to have a sit. I run into the Hardened Soil booth, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I need to sit down for a minute." He's like, "Oh, man, you hooked me up with the wings. You're so cool. Here, come sit down." He gave me a chair to sit in since he was doing like the vendor thing. He had some totes. He pulled it out. He's like, "Here, buddy, put your feet up. Stay a while." But right when that, like 30 seconds after me sitting down, the winner ceremony started for the cup. And I was like, right there. I was like, oh shit, I should take my phone out and record. So that, and like, I just put it out as is. It's beginning to end, the whole winner ceremony, the top 10, their little spiel before, whatever. Not even edited, nothing. It's kind of funny. It's like what you were saying about the 240p thing earlier. It's always like the stuff you put like no thought into that will like shoot out there, but it will be something that you like spend hours editing. It'll get age restricted, and then like 75 people watch it. But no, with that cup video last night, I went to bed. It was at like maybe 430 views. I woke up and it was at like 800. I didn't even realize it immediately until all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I have like 8 new comments on this video. Then I looked at the view count. I'm like, this thing doubled overnight.
That's it. Here's YouTube algorithm explained. Here it is in a nutshell. Your YouTube algorithm is your really cool friend, right? And now you throw house parties called YouTube videos, right? And you tell your cool friend, "Hey man, tell your other cool friends to come to my party." And he's like, "Okay." And he's going to send a few hundred people over to your party, right? Maybe 70, maybe a few hundred. And you're going to notice these tiers. And if people come back to him and go, "Hey man, I was at Cortez's party last night. It was really dope." He's going to send a few more. That's when your video gets 800, right? And it's like a hand. It's like it gets sent out to these different tiers, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And it's hundreds of views, thousands of views, tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views.
So I have one video that has over 10,000 views, and it was from like maybe 2 places ago I live. It's from like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But it was something that Mrs. Cortez recorded literally as we were running out of the door. I was like rushing to get out of the door, but I think I had like a little like Seed to Harvest series going on. So I was doing like weekly updates or whatever, but it was like the most impromptu, like 47 seconds. And it's got like almost 11,000 views. It's like
nice.
10.8K.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, just so you know, because I just looked it up, your autoflower video on Dude Grows has 50,000 views as of yesterday.
Get the frick out of town. I'm over 50K.
50,000
I think that's
on the dot, man.
I know it's gone up and down. I remember that like me, Chad Westport, and JR Token were like the 3 highest views on the newer Dude Grows channel, but I think within like the last 6 months it's changed.
Oh, it's changed, buddy. So yeah, that was you and Chad Westport were the top
Yeah,
there.
that's it. Yep.
And then saving babies thumbnail came up potting came up, and then Soulfire and frickin' who made Blueberry, man. Soulfire Genetics 91,000. Banner Know Your Breeder. DJ Short 134,000. Banner,
Those
know
are
your
actually one
breeder.
of my favorite things to watch on Dude Grows, honestly, is those know your breeders that Banner does. Because you can
They're
tell he's
fun,
like
man.
really got the passion for it. He knows what questions to ask. He's really into like terpenes and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So like
I'm doing
that's
them
definitely
remote.
his wheelhouse.
We've been doing them remote the last couple too, just out of convenience. For I was sick one, and then he was doing something on another, and we couldn't line it up. And I like being in studio with him. I want to be more involved with the Know Your Breeders. I not involved, but I want to ask a question. I'm gonna start doing
Right.
like Grambo's one question, because it's always me and Banner just solo. It'll always be like when there's downtime, either we'll do them remote or we'll do them in the bakery when no one else is around, and we'll just kind of sit there, he and I, and bang out a couple of them. Yeah. Shout out Merle. Yeah, they're fun. And I love the so I wanted to find music that like fit the vibe. You guys all know, if you know your breeder, it's like like whole like thing. I sent you the link, Scott. If you check your email, I sent you that over. I didn't see that you had texted me. Come in, buddy. The water's fine. And so yeah, they blew up, man. Freaking yeah, Banners had 2 home runs, but then yeah, the up potting episode has 53,000, Seed Success 51,000, and then Cortez the Conqueror, the drop down to number 6, but that's pretty good. I mean, we've got the whole team working on it. I mean, you're talking about how
Oh yeah.
hard YouTube is. I mean, we know how hard it is, and we've got me, High C, and Scott and Banner like sitting there, several days a week, beating our head against the wall on how do we crack this thing. And that's one of the things I respect the most about the Dude Grows crew is their willingness to change. You guys will notice, like, we're doing live streams and we're over here. It might seem fairly chaotic, but that's the thing that makes you stick around in this world.
And that's even like when
Like,
when the first one got deleted, when it was kind of like that scramble there, because you guys were on Rumble for a little while. You remember? That's about when
we
you
were on
just came
Rumble.
out.
Yeah, it was my first month. I
Yeah,
was It
yeah,
was like 3 weeks in, and that's so me to like show up, and it's like, dude, we're gonna crush it, and it's like, burr, 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 burr. But to all the guys' credit, we had a little meeting, and I told them, like, so here's how I look at Dude Grows. As far as the subscribers and getting deleted, is that you get a silver play button from YouTube when you get 100,000. They send you a placard, a silver play button for 100,000 subs, and they were coming up on 100,000 subs with me coming on board and High C's help and everything. We probably would have crossed 100,000 within probably 2 months.
yeah.
So 60 days we would have crossed. So because it's a nice flat round number, I don't look at Dude Grows subscriber count as a number. I look at it
Right.
as a percentage. And so right now we have 29,300 subscribers. So the way I look at it, we're 29.3% of the way to my goal. My goal is they're going to have 100,000 subs. I will
Do you
rest
think?
until
Do
that
you think
fucking
that
channel
it
gets
was you
that play
just got
button.
a little too close, and it was like because that for you, or even before you came on the show, but for like all the Dude Grows guys, I think it was like an 8-year grind before the channel got deleted. But do you think it was
It
almost
was
like do you think it was almost like an Icarus situation? Like you flew a little too close to the sun, and that's when your wings
well,
began to burn.
the problem is that they had been doing business on YouTube for many years. And it wasn't that the Dude Grows show changed, is that YouTube changed around them. And so
Right.
what was fine in 2012 no longer was fine in
Yeah.
2022,
So
and
you
so
guys
I
basically got me too'd.
kinda, we got seed-tude,
Yeah.
seed-tude. Says that I believe, and I was very new, and the channel got deleted. One of the grossest things about that is you get an email that like, here, your 90,000 YouTube channel thing that you've built over a decade of your life, 4 days a week, every week for 10 years, it's freaking deleted. And then you appeal and you get a robo email back just going, no, like,
Not
we
even
appealed.
customer service from India. You just get AI.
Five minutes, dude. 5 minutes. Yo, grow under the stairs. What up, buddy? Always good to see the content creators out there. I always find my way. I'm always a lurker. I always like to hang out in the in there and just watch everybody. But yeah, so
Watching
dude
from
grows
the
at
distance.
29.3% of the way back there, and I'm not going to stop until we get that goddamn play button, Cortez.
Hey, I want to give another shout out real quick too to DGC. I just met for the first time out there at the Cup, Moondog from Moondog's Genetics. That's actually what I'm smoking on right now. I am
Oh
puffing
yeah.
on some Super Silver Haze.
Oh, I have that. It's
Oh,
it's
really?
back behind my
Yeah.
backdrop, but he gave me a container of that. I took
Yeah.
special note of that because
Yeah.
that
And the
was the
way he gives
first
it to you,
kind
he
bud.
had it in these like almost like oversized Pringle cans. Wasn't
There's
really
big old
trimmed. I
They're
had
big old
to I
medical
had to dry
containers.
it the rest of the way and like cure it myself and clean it up when I got home. But it was like
Well, I
it's
took
some good
notice
shit
because
though,
Super
man.
Silver
Yeah,
Haze was the first ever kind bud
right.
I ever smoked. That
Hell
was the
yeah,
first
yeah.
time
That's
I
when I
ever had
got it and
kind
finally
bud.
got to like smoke it. Today was kind of the first day that was prime because I've been curing it. Like, man,
Nice.
this reminds me of like back like 1999, maybe like 2002. It was before like weed like it is now, like the dispensary stuff was really like a thing. So like in Chicago at least, there was still like a lot of brick packed weed going around. But every once in a while, if you had like a good connect, maybe somebody had like a family member that lived in like Kentucky, Tennessee, somewhere, you could get like that good old like farm boy weed, kind of like you were saying, like with the kind buds, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't realize until I moved to Colorado and I started working in dispensaries, and so I started
I
meeting
used to
thousands
think
and
that
thousands of
that's how it
stoners.
was supposed to look. Because I've been smoking weed since like 1999. I was like 12. You know what I mean? But like, if you would have told me that like it'd be like the space weed, the Zaza, the exotic, whatever the kids are calling it these days, like no, I thought it was supposed to look like something that came out of like a lawnmower bag. You know what I mean? With a whole bunch of
Yeah, dude.
seeds, stems. It's been like press so they could get it through like a gas tank over the border of Tijuana straight up to Chicago, you know what I mean?
We used to always make retroactively, like back like a few years ago, we started like trying to create strain names for the old style weed, and it'd be like Crushed Dreams and fucking
Right.
Brown Frown and all the the
Wow,
classic fucking
this looks like a Sinaloa land race to me. It's awfully
yeah,
sativa leaning.
the compactor. It's like, oh, you got smoking on that compactor. That's when you get the Crushed Dreams. Yeah, I started smoking in '96, and
Okay. How old were
yeah,
you?
same. Yeah, 12.
Yeah,
Fucking
tell us about that
yeah,
age.
yeah. So it would have been the going into the summer of seventh
But
grade.
I would
Smoked
smoke
first
weed
forcefully for
here
the
or
first time.
there. Like I maybe smoke weed like a couple times a month, like literally like 2, 3 times a month. But I think it was maybe till I turned about like 15 that I really started to like smoke weed. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I took my first puffs at 12, and I started smoking at like
Yeah, yeah,
14.
yeah. Same, same.
And I've essentially I've smoked weed every day now for about 27 years. It's getting out of hand.
Mm, I have
Yeah, there was
just about.
something V Shackelford. The
I
Was that a
have
mistype?
lost a
Did you
couple
mean to
years,
type
few years
VGC,
here
or
and
was
there.
that there was a cup this weekend? I kept noticing there was other people at some cool event, and I wasn't clear on what the event was, because Minnesota is like blowing up, dude. Like there's something going on in Minnesota. I noticed that, like probably
Oh
one
yeah.
third of the DGC Cup was from Minnesota, dude. What the
Oh, dude,
hell?
in the Airbnb that I was at, I was with one of the Minnesota guys with, do you know Healthy Green? The guy that wears all the
Healthy
Minnesota
Guerrero.
Viking stuff?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah, him. And then he's friends with Peachy Green, Brianna, and then I think they got like a grocery store up there in Minnesota. I know her
There's your boy
boyfriend. Oh,
Cortez.
her
There's your
boyfriend
boy.
is Wizard. Oh, there he is right there. Yeah. Then her boyfriend, he actually won a seed giveaway I did like years ago. Wizard
Nice.
weed with 2 3s.
Okay.
But he's friends with Dream Loud Cultivation that I've done some like podcasting stuff with. So yeah, big shout out Minnesota.
Yeah, crazy, man. Crazy with Minnesota. I don't exactly understand. I'm gonna have to look at the analytics of the Dude Grow show and see, because like funnily enough, Denver is like the 10th biggest city, like as far as Dude Grows is concerned. Like New York is number one, Chicago is number two, and
Yeah.
then it's
But it's
gotta
kind of
be
funny, like at the DGC Cup, it's like the mid, well, what I would consider like the Midwest definitely sticks together. So like Trey K, Healthy Green, all the other little people, Dude, Where's My Bong, all the people that I kick it with. But it kind of seems like the Illinois folks kind of like click with the Colorado folks, click with the Minnesota folks, get
here's the
along
thing
pretty
about
good with the Oklahoma
Colorado.
guys.
Here's the secret about Colorado folk. Colorado folk are all Iowa folk, Minnesota folk, Florida folk. Like
Midwest
no
strong,
one's
baby.
from here, man. No one is from here. Like I've met literally maybe a dozen people from here in my whole time living here of 10 years. Oh, Drew, you know I got Iowa love, baby. Drew, shout out to
I
Iowa.
just
It's changing
drove
everywhere.
through the entire state of Iowa twice.
I was brutal, man.
Drove
It's
through pretty
brutal.
much all of Illinois, all of Iowa. Iowa didn't really bother me. Nebraska was the nail biter.
Nebraska and Kansas are the
I didn't
worst.
go through Kansas. I did not go through
Yeah,
Kansas. I went
I was a
through all of Illinois, all of Iowa, all of Nebraska, and damn near half of Colorado to get out there to Fort Collins.
I-80, baby. I-80 is the life. See, and so that's why. So yeah, like Healthy Green will know. Like, so I'm from Des Moines, Iowa, and so like in Des Moines, Iowa, we have I-35 that goes from Canada to Mexico, and then we have I-80 that goes from Chicago to Denver, and then Des Moines is at the
I-80
crosshairs.
actually goes from all the way from New York to like San Francisco.
All
I
right,
was
there you
watching.
go, even better.
I was
It
watching
forks,
YouTube
right?
videos on
It
the
forks
drive.
at 76. Yeah,
I'm
and
not sure
it forks.
exactly, but it's according to a YouTube video I watched, so it's got to be true. They said that I-80 goes from New York to California, so it's like a
Even better. So
intercontinental highway.
between California, Chicago, Canada, and Mexico, I lived at the crosshairs. So I always there was drugs everywhere. There was great
Yeah.
everything. I had dabs before anybody did, because I
I'm
guess
sure
I lived at one of the great
drugs, ladies of the night. I'm
checkpoints.
sure there's probably some human trafficking that goes
Oh,
on an
dude.
intercontinental highway.
Oh, that's everywhere, dude. I went into a rest stop like
I
two
was just
years
about to
ago.
say that. Yeah, I seen them like last
These
week.
signs.
Every rest stop has multiple posters about if you see something that appears to be human trafficking, can you please call this telephone number?
And the ones that I saw were really weird. Like
Yeah.
Tom
I
Cruise
seen
movie.
one, it had a guy that kind of looked like a little slow, you know what I mean? But it said he
See,
was
this
like
one had like
it said he was like a
expensive.
27-year-old man, but it described him as a vulnerable adult. But it was like all the people I seen
Yeah.
on the rest stop things, it didn't even make sense. Like, you know, if you go to
Well,
like a Walmart or
that's
something, you
who
see
you're
like
looking for, you
kids that
know.
kind of like make sense, but it's like, are these people going?
Oh,
I don't know.
oh, it's all slowing up at the end. It's all slowing. It's all speeding
Yeah.
up at the
You
end.
guys go to these rest stops out here, make sure you bring some mace and a rape whistle.
Guerrero Gross says I almost look like a floating head. I had a joke in my act that said that I'm so pale that if I stand in front of a white wall, I look like a haunted beard. I look like my own logo.
Hey Grambo, have you ever been Uncle Fester for Halloween?
So it's funny that you should say that. Another joke straight from that's lifted straight from my act, Cortez. I had a joke that's like I loved Gomez Adams. Like I love who Gomez Adams was the coolest guy ever.
He was so suave. You know what I
I
mean? He
wanted to
was a
grow up to be
player.
Gomez. I wanted to grow up to be Gomez Adams, and then I grow up to be Fester. It's not fair. It's not fair. But Fester fucking, he was
You
getting
know,
laid.
it's
Remember,
only
he
it's
got
only
laid in the
in
second one.
Dude Grows comments on YouTube, but like there's definitely been a troll where people try to say that I look and sound like Andrew Tate. But I swear I can't make an appearance on the DGC without getting one Andrew Tate comment. I didn't even
See,
know who
Healthy
he was
Green.
at the time. Like I had to do the research on it.
See, Healthy Green remembers Fester rocks, man. In part two, remember he was banging freaking that blonde lady. She was crazy, but he was getting some.
All of a sudden, you got that hand thing that runs out. You remember the hand?
Cortez. Uh, they're creepy and they're kooky. That thing gives candies.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So what
Well,
else,
yeah.
man? What
So
do we miss from
then,
edibles?
once you got the concentrate, then you're gonna want to do the infusion. Um, I would do, depending on what I'm infusing, what the specific application is. I'm going in with the sunflower lecithin again. So just to give you guys an example, just so I can speak on something tangible, for the sriracha honey mango sauce, I did high MCT coconut oil. I used the liquid sunflower lecithin as the carrier to go into the extraction. When I was going from the extraction back into the infusion, I opted to use a powdered sunflower lecithin. From the batch that I made, I used what do you call, like butter molds? You can buy like molds to make your own stick of butter. So from a half ounce of larf, 14 grams, I made 8 butter sticks of the coconut oil out of that. And I only used 2 for the sauce. So I still got 6 of them left over. But when I went into, so I took 2 sticks. I had to melt, get don't ask me how I know this, but coconut oil locks up at 74 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're over 74 degrees, it's going to be a liquid. If you're under 74 degrees, it's going to be a solid. So I actually did apply some heat. I probably got it up to about 100 degrees for the 2 sticks. And then I put a heaping tablespoon of powdered sunflower lecithin in there. And then I kind of like let that bloom for about 5 minutes or so. When I say bloom, I guess it would be like kind of like a baking term almost, if you were like making a pizza dough to like bloom the yeast kind of thing. But I let the right, just let it get incorporated. And then I started to add all the other components of the sauce, the sriracha, the honey, the mango juice. Added some barbecue sauce in there, so it still had, make it a little bit easier on the American palate, we'll say.
That's hilarious. Hell yeah, man. Well, I enjoyed it. And shout out to Raider. Was it those Raider wings? Where did those wings come from?
From House of Cortez?
You brought wings?
Yeah, you did. You ate the wings, fool. I have you on video.
Well, I didn't think you brought wings from Chicago.
Oh, no. I brought the sauce. I bought the wings from the Sam's Club in Fort Collins. I think it was like $22-23 for a 10-pound bag.
I didn't know if those were Raider Dank Vader concoctions or if you got them. So
Those were me. Those were me.
Sam's. Shout out Sam's Club.
I had the Airbnb, so I was able to cook because I wasn't in like a hotel. I had like my own little house.
Nice. Hell yeah, man. Well, that's it, dude. We did 90 minutes. That's about where the internet starts to break. So yeah, man.
I'm off this sativa, so I lost track of time. I do need to take my ass to sleep though. I'm gonna be hurting in the morning.
I'm telling you,
I'm
bro.
gonna
I
have
gotta
to
make sure you get out of here in time.
and burn like the mighty phoenix and rise from the ashes.
Mrs. Cortez is gonna put a boot across my neck if I fucking make you late for work. So I got to make sure
Yeah.
everything's
I'm
good over
surprised
there.
she hasn't entered from like stage left yet to stare at me, to be honest with you.
Hell yeah, buddy. Well, I'm sure every single person here in the chat knows who you are, but you know, another thousand or two might see this over the next week. So for the people that don't know how to find you, how do they find you?
Cortez the Conqueror, son of the south side of Chicago here. You can find me across social media platforms. Cortez the Conqueror, Cortez with a C, Conqueror with a K. The two biggest ones to check out would either be Instagram or YouTube. I got a whole bunch of content though. I have so much stuff in the works. I have at least 8 to 10 YouTube videos as it stands right now that's about to drop. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. Maybe Grambo can slide a link in there, and make sure you guys hit the bell notification, because as we were speaking about earlier, YouTube's not always the most kind of cannabis content creators. But if you guys hit the bell on my stuff and Grambo's, you will be notified as we drop with all that hot fire.
That they will, my friend. Hell yeah. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. And I never have any plugs. I'm not throwing anything at you, but follow me on Instagram if you don't. Helps me in comedy, helps me with ladies, just makes me look like a pimp. And y'all are part of that journey. And I'm gonna thank all of you personally every single time, with every thrust, with every woman. I think of y'all. Follow me on Instagram, giving me credibility in the community that I am a person of the people. So thank y'all. Follow me on Instagram, follow Cortez on YouTube, and bike grow dots and recharge. Right?
Stay black, Grambo. Until next time.
You son of a bitch. Let's do it.
We're dropping knowledge on Grambo Bros. Talking